Hey guys, welcome back to The Heart of Home with me. I'm Courtney. I'm really glad that you're here. If it's your first video that you've seen from my channel, I'm super excited that you found my little corner of the world. And if you're returning, thank you. So you might be wondering, her voice sounds a little different. Yeah, I was just gone for 2 weeks on vacation with my family, and I ended up getting strep and laryngitis, so much so to the point where I completely lost my voice. But anyways, before I left, I actually sowed a bunch of seeds that I had just recently ordered, which I'll be doing a seed haul with you guys here probably this week. But I wanted to get these started because I knew I was going to be gone for 2 weeks and I was already behind on seed starting. And I don't have a greenhouse right now. I do technically have a greenhouse, but half of it is under our deck here in our shed, and the other half is literally in a storage unit somewhere. So I decided, you know what, I'm just going to grab a few seed trays and just start a few, because starting some is better than starting none. Just using what you can and doing what you can with what you have when you have it, that's what matters. So I grabbed a few seed trays that weren't cracked from our move, and I pulled them up here and I just set them on a board on top of our partially installed cabinets here in our kitchen. And I grabbed a few seed trays that I had, and I just got some soil and I started some seeds. So I did run into one thing. My labels have all washed off. And I should know better. I use Sharpie typically, but I was running around the house like a madman because I literally did this 10 minutes before, 20 minutes before we had to leave for a vacation. Like, we were in Florida for 2 weeks. And so I found a pen that is like a Sharpie pen. However, it washes off with water. So let me show you guys what I've got going here. All right, so you can see here, I've got some leggy plants. I honestly did not anticipate them growing this tall in a matter of just a week and a half, 2-ish weeks. You'll see here, like, this says Abe Lincoln. These are obviously not tomato plants. I try to recycle my plant tags, my plant identification markers, as much as I can. Which, here's the biggest issue I'm running into. These tomatoes right here, these 7 little pots of tomatoes, I have no idea what variety they are. And they're everything from cherry tomatoes to beefsteak tomatoes. I mean, I don't even know. And of course, the varieties that I haven't grown before. So here's what I am going to do today. My bean plants are entirely too leggy. And unlike tomatoes, you can't plant them down further. You could, but you're going to risk a weaker plant that's going to produce less, because it could start rotting. The plant could start rotting because it's getting too much moisture. Tomato plants, I'm not worried about. The only thing I'm worried about with my tomato plants is I have no idea what variety they are. And so it's going to be hard to try to transplant them out to the garden, because I had a garden plan and now my garden plan might just be going I'm gonna go get those pots and let's chat and repot some plants. Watch out, it's down. Come on. Welcome to my dungeon. This is a shed that was not well maintained at all when we bought this house, but you know, it's where all my plant stuff lives in the meantime. Hey guys, it's actually been a few days since I recorded the front end of this video that you just watched, and the clips that you just watched I put in there, and there was no audio to them because my microphone actually broke, and I'm not sure entirely what happened, but before I dropped it and physically broke it, ironically, the volume stopped. I don't know what happened. It could just be a flaw on my side. It could be a flaw with just the microphone I was using. I could have tried some other ones. So I just wanted to go ahead and show you guys what I did repot, because I didn't get to add in the original videos. So let me show you what I've got going here now. There might actually be a few new things in here. Also, yes, you can laugh with me. I'm using a construction light as the light for my plants. So they are a little leggy. I didn't anticipate them being this tall, like I said earlier, in just a matter of a couple weeks. And unfortunately, here in Zone 5 in central Iowa, it's too cold to get any of these guys transplanted outside. We also are still working on our garden beds, which will come in the next couple videos, which is super exciting. However, I did transplant all of my beans. I've got pinto beans and lima beans that I transplanted. And you might notice I actually put another bean down into the soil, and I have plenty of plants that have decided to germinate, which is really exciting because I think all of them have germinated. So 100% germination rate for what I put in. They are getting a little tall. Beans can be a little finicky outside. They don't necessarily enjoy the cold. They like it nice and warm. So I definitely want to baby these guys. However, they do germinate quick enough that if I need to toss these old plants into my worm bin and feed my worms, totally okay. At least I'm still closing the gap, closing the circle. So transplanted all of those. I did get some more cabbage planted actually. I don't think I had cabbage planted on the first end of this video. I did buy a couple cabbage starts from our local nursery, and I'll show you guys that in an upcoming video as well. But we're still running into a crisis. I do not have any idea what variety these tomato plants are. And some of the tomato plants do have some seeds still attached to the leaves. I actually see one right there. If you can see that guy, it's kind of weird that it's on the stem. I did pick off quite a bit of the other seeds, but I was hoping I could use the seeds to help me identify which tomato variety they are, and unfortunately that's not the case. Most tomato seeds kind of look similar to other tomato seeds. So we're just going to find out the hard way what I planted, and we'll go with it. So stay tuned this summer for those garden tours, because you and I will both be able to discover the varieties that became. The other variety of plant I have in here are a couple different melons between some cantaloupe, some watermelon, and some cucumbers, and I am not entirely sure which ones were which either. So I put watermelon on this one, and I can't remember how he deciphered that, to be honest. Again, I'm not going to know until they're planted. Some other ones are right here. These are the guys I really had no clue what they were, and they're starting to get their true leaves, which is a little exciting. I'm hoping that maybe somebody who's more experienced in growing melons than I can help me figure out which one of the melons these guys are. So because my videos decided to fail me on the audio end of things, oh, very cool. I have lilacs that are blooming. They're actually in the neighbor's yard, but they're hanging into our yard, which means I'm definitely going to cut them and make some bouquets, because lilacs are one of my favorite spring scents. Anywho, I'm like a squirrel. But because my video was cut short, I just decided to hop on here and show you guys just a quick update. I did plant my beans a little further down into the soil, not too far, because like I said, planting beans into the soil, they're not like tomatoes. They're not going to shoot off more of a root system. They are probably just going to rot if the stem is getting too wet, if there's too much moisture. And I did have that happen with one. So I put it in my worm bin here. There you go. You can see right here. See how that stem started to rot and it's just a little loosey-goosey now? I noticed because my plant was laying over, and I thought, that's weird. It doesn't look like it's broken. So I just kind of moved the plant, and I noticed that it was almost stretchy, like it was bendy, and a stem should not be bendy. So I just went ahead and fed it to my worms, put it right here in my worm bin. Again, I'm closing the gap, I'm closing the circle, and I'm getting some good use out of a plant that decided to become a little too leggy. So that's that, guys. I'm going to go ahead and record some more videos to put out this week, and I hope to see you guys on those next ones. Until then.